The city of Lexington sues drug companies, new trails around town, and veterans are honored. This and more up next on this week's edition of Lexington Now. Roberts, and this is Lexington Now. The current opioid crisis has reached epidemic proportions, with the addiction and overdose deaths on the rise. In response, the city of Lexington is suing drug companies over the growing problem.
Yes, it's been declared a national health emergency. More than 63,000 deaths in 2016 in the U.S. Thousands more than the 37,000 who died on our nation's roads last year. You can see many of these partners here today, our council members who have helped and expanded funding for the many steps we have taken to fight opioids. As you can tell, we have a lot of partners across the community who are working hard, vigorously. They've come up with many innovative approaches. Even so, overdose deaths doubled in Lexington between 2013 and 2016. And Fayette County ranks second in the state for heroin-related deaths and second in the state for fentanyl-related deaths. Opioid abuse is taking a serious toll on our city and our citizens through loss of life, financial hardship, and increased criminal activity. These next steps are appropriate. This lawsuit, we are joining 34 counties across Kentucky in suing drug distributors and manufacturers.
Everyone here knows or had somebody that has dealt with this opiate drug problem and had died. And I made a promise to one lady who I watched her daughter grow up and had 2 kids, and she died 3 years ago. And she said, find out whatever you can about this drug and how my daughter keeps getting it and all that, and how it's so simple. So not only did I make a promise that I'll do that, I also found out a lot of things with this drug use. It is hurting the community, plus this government. We had in the last 2 months, we've had 2 employees, kids died from overdose. But the thing that it also does, it drains our budget. And as you know, the police and fire and the jail is overpopulated for what this is, and it is drowning our budget problems, and everybody knows that I have a problem with when it comes to spending money, we got to find a way to get it back. And not only is it hurting here, it's hurting the state of Kentucky. And one example that was given to me a few years ago, there were 5 cities and counties in the United States where this was the top drug in the country. Number 1 was Los Angeles, over 4 million people. Number 2, number 3, and number 4 and 5 are here in Kentucky in these small counties. One county has a population of 65,000. So when you see those kind of drugs coming in Kentucky, they're going somewhere because not everybody can take those drugs. So what has happened, they're coming into Lexington, and that's how you get these drugs so easy.
As Mayor Gray made very clear in his opening remarks, the opioid epidemic is a community problem. Addiction is striking people young and old, in all neighborhoods, and across all socioeconomic levels. And it's going to take all of the community to combat this. Thankfully, over the last several years, under the leadership of Mayor Gray, the Public Safety Department and the city as a whole has been able to make strides in combating the scourge of opioids. As Public Safety Commissioner, I'm proud to say that our public safety agencies have added services and expanded our capabilities when it comes to responding to the opioid crisis. Our team is very committed, and they're making a difference. For instance, the Lexington Police Department has detectives who are specifically assigned to drug overdose cases. They interview witnesses and survivors in order to build cases against drug dealers. The DARE program has been reinstated in our schools to make sure kids learn the danger of drugs before they ever get the chance to try them. Police officers are assigned Narcan kits to help save lives in the case of an opioid overdose. So far this year, police officers have administered 90 doses of Narcan before the arrival of EMS.
The city of Lexington is always working to be a livable city for everyone who resides here, but now we're taking on the task of becoming an age-friendly city. And we're one step closer thanks to an AARP grant for trail enhancements at Idle Hour Park.
This is an important opportunity for us to say thank you to the community of Lexington. This is an exciting opportunity for AARP and Age-Friendly Lexington to participate in this effort. So I am just going to suspend any further ado, and I just wanted to welcome Monica Conrad to the podium with Lexington Fayette Urban County Government Parks and Recreation.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, and good morning, and welcome to Idle Hour Park and Lexington Senior Center. We are so proud to have worked with Lexington Senior Center and to have gotten this amazing grant from AARP. This livability grant adds these raised garden beds to our park. It also adds conversational benches that we're going to be unveiling here in a few moments, and just a tremendous improvement to our park. Thank you all for being here this morning. To Scott's comments, I'll definitely be brief. I would like to take a moment to recognize the team from Parks and Recreation who make these things possible, as well as the senior citizens team as well. I would also like to take a moment to introduce our wonderful mayor, Jim Gray, who allows these partnerships to happen in the city. They allow them to happen in the park and between many branches of government.
Just to punctuate what Monica said, it's wonderful to be out here to look, let's turn our heads and see that extraordinary facility, our seniors center. Yep, that deserves a clap, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. And what all it represents, and here at Idle Hour Park, where we have so many amenities, we've got our playground, walking trail, pickleball courts, football, baseball, softball fields, shuffleboard courts, and today, thanks to AARP, we're dedicating these new raised beds and the benches along the half-mile trail right here in the park.
It's a delight on behalf of the Department of Social Services to join this celebration this morning. I want to thank Scott and the AARP family for being a part of our family at the Urban County Government. I also want to thank Monica and her staff at Parks and Recreation. I know it's a cool morning, but pretty soon these benches, these flower beds will be an asset to what we're doing here at the Senior Center in Idle Hour Park. It brings multi-generational vitality. It brings folks into this park, and for that we're very excited. So congratulations everybody, and we look forward to being a continual support.
It's such an honor and privilege to be here today, and this probably would not have happened without the vision and the leadership of your great mayor. Let's give him a big hand. Yeah. And on behalf of our 470,000 members across our state, we again say thank you to your city and for all those partners that helped make this a reality today, because without partners, we know things would not get done, and we appreciate all the partners. Recently I was at Biltmore, and Mr. Vanderbilt had a vision. In the early 1900s, he had a pool, he had bowling, he had an exercise room, and he had gardens. He had benches to sit on at the beautiful Biltmore estate. And now, 100 years later, Lexington is stepping to the plate and becoming an age-friendly city. There's 200 of these across our nation that are becoming age-friendly, and that means from stroller to walker, it's an age-friendly city, and I salute you for that.
Okay. Thank you. All right. 2, 3. All right. There they are.
Oh, we've got more trail news for you. The latest extension to the Brighton East Trail was officially opened this past weekend, and several officials were on hand for the ribbon cutting.
Well, thank you so much for coming out this morning. This excites me that you all are so excited about it and would come out on the coldest day that we've had. had yet to just celebrate that we've got an extension. It's not the full trail yet, but just the progress that we've made over here on the Liberty and Brighton Trail. So just a little bit of information. People have asked, what's the pièce de résistance? I don't speak French, but it's the bridge that will be coming in 2018, and it will cross over Man o' War. So this will be a fully connected, yeah, let's give that a round of applause. Yeah, I like that. So it will be a full connection from the Liberty Trail connecting the Pleasant Ridge, and it's going to be a total of 3.5 miles, which is about all I could ever run right now. So I'm excited about that, and I know you all are too. But it's just a great addition to this area that, it's such a, and it's family oriented. It is a multi-use. I'll try and get a few things in. Multi-use trail, no motor vehicles. So if you see an ATV, if you see a motorcycle, whatever, please call the police, please call my office, because they're not supposed to be on there, and we have seen a couple. So, and we will get on that. But it is strictly for cyclists, bikers. It is wheelchair accessible, and it's just something that can be a safety and fun place for us all to be and get the exercise that we all so desperately need. But this is Keith Levin. I will introduce him and let him speak a little bit more about the detail and introduce some other folks that have been a huge part of this project, because it has taken a village and it's taken a few years to get this done. But again, slowly but surely, and hopefully sooner than later, it will be a full and complete trail.
I'm going to give you a little bit of background about the Brighton Rail Trail. This is Lexington's only rail trail that we have in the county. In 1986, there was a railroad that went through where the trail is, and it was abandoned. And the city was able to acquire the property, and we have built the trail in sections. We have built 2 miles on the other side of Man o' War that actually goes to Walnut Grove Lane, and then we just finished this section here that will actually connect to Liberty Park. It's been a long process. We actually started in 1999. There is a group called Kentucky Rails to Trail Council that was very instrumental in getting this project on the ground. We have Dixie Moore here that worked really hard on this project, and she was a officer of the Kentucky Rails to Trail Council. But like Angela said, we have 3.5 miles. We would like to continue this trail through the county all the way. The abandonment actually goes all the way to Ashland. So it would be nice to have a trail that goes all the way to Ashland. So it's in our plans. The only problem we have is getting the right-of-way to actually do the project, but it is in the master plan. We do hope to have a trail someday. Don't know when it will be, but we are very excited that we're getting to open another section, and I hope you will enjoy it. It's a great asset to the community, to the neighborhood, and to everybody that's here. So thank you. Oh, I'd also like to introduce Josh Carrick. He's with the design engineer. He's with Bell Engineering, and we also have Scott Thompson here, who is the Lexington's Bike and Ped coordinator. Thank you.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
For more information about the city's extensive trail system, you can visit the parks page on the city's website, lexingtonky.gov. And coming up after the break, honoring our veterans.
We have more miles of running water than any state in the continental U.S. You may not know it, but all our streams catch water directly from storm sewers on our streets. When someone tosses a cigarette butt on Main, it could end up in Town Branch. Don't trash the bluegrass.
Welcome to Your Health, starring Your Hands. On today's show, washing your hands. If people don't wash their hands often, especially when they're sick, they can spread germs directly to other people or onto surfaces that others touch. And before you know it, everyone has come down with something. It's important to wash your hands frequently with good soapy water. Here's some hand washing tips. Wash your hands after using the bathroom. Wash your hands after coughing or blowing your nose. Wash your hands before eating, serving, or preparing food. Wash your hands after playing with your pets or touching other animals. Wash your hands after outdoor activities. Wash your hands before and after visiting someone who's sick. Wash your hands when they get dirty. And wash your hands after changing those diapers. Thanks for watching Your Health, and remember, wash those hands frequently.
Hello, everybody. I want to invite you to Mrs. Claus Hot Chocolate Social. It will be a grand time. I will have lots of festive friends here with me and lots of fun activities for you. It is $5 per child, 8, 9, and under. Go to our website for more information or call. See you soon. Come to Mrs. Claus Hot Chocolate Social.
Welcome back to the show. Veterans Day was this past weekend, but all last week, the city of Lexington honored our veterans in what we called a Week of Valor. We capped off the Week of Valor with a press conference announcing a new trail at Veterans Park.
Welcome to the Veterans Park, where we honor those who have served in our military. This vast green space is a place for so many residents of Lexington to congregate, enjoying sporting activities, exercise, and to celebrate momentous occasions such as this. That is why we are here today, to celebrate and appreciate. Today, we meet along our new War Memorial Walk. This installation is a tribute to the veterans who served in the foreign wars over the past. The city has worked with the community groups, and to date, the pathway finished and memorials erected for the Korean and Vietnam Wars.
We're here today to honor our veterans. So many of you who are here today are here for that same reason, families, friends. We have our veterans here. Thank you again. Thanks for your service, those who are here, those who have passed and given the ultimate sacrifice, and those to the families, all of you who are here. Yes, God bless each and every one of you, our veterans, those who are serving today, our city, our state, and our country.
We are blessed to live in a free country, but only because of the service and sacrifice of those of you here who have served in our nation's uniform. And 2017 is a particularly important year to celebrate Veterans Day because it's the 100th anniversary of the United States entry into World War I. It's also the 70th anniversary of the founding of the United States Air Force in 1947, when the Air Force became an official branch of the United States Armed Forces. And for the past 241 years, less than 1% of our nation's men and women have raised their right hand to answer our nation's most sacred call to duty. Whether it was fighting tyranny in World War II and turning back Imperial Japan or the threat of the Nazis, whether it was defeating Soviet communism during the Cold War, or today in the global war on terror. These men and women have fought to make our country the greatest nation in the history of the world, and that's to the credit of the men and women of the United States military.
And as I stand here today as a veteran, proud American, I want to say how much I appreciate what all of you have done. Not only the sacrifices you have made, but also the sacrifices your family has made, and all too often we forget that we could not do what we do, would not be able to accomplish what we've accomplished were it not for our parents, our sisters, brothers, and most specifically our spouses. So thank you to the veterans, thank you to the families, thank you all for hosting this here today. God bless you and God bless America.
Thanksgiving is next week, and if you're having a traditional meal, you're sure to have a turkey at your family feast. And with that bird, there will be plenty of grease, especially if you choose to fry it. But the city of Lexington has a plan for safely disposing of that grease. It's not down the drain, folks. You can do it at our annual Gobble Grease Toss. Jennifer Myatt has more information.
I'm with Sarah Cummins, the director of the Redwood Cooperative School, and Redwood has been hosting the Gobble Grease Toss for the past 2 years, so this is their second year participating, and we are really excited to have them as a partner. Thank you for joining us, Sarah.
Thank you for being here.
I would like to know from you why it's so important to you that Redwood hosts the Gobble Grease Toss. What made you decide to do this?
Yeah, well, thank you. We are very conscientious about our contributions to environmental sustainability at Redwood, and we learned that the city of Lexington was hosting this Gobble Grease Toss where citizens can donate their used cooking oil. We also have a partnership with the University of Kentucky's Center for Applied Energy Research, and we thought it would be a really nice opportunity to form a partnership between us, the city, and UK, where we can not only host and collect the used cooking oil, but we can work with the University of Kentucky to actually get it converted to usable biofuel. We just want to say thank you for allowing us to host. We just moved into our wonderful new location in July of this year, so we're excited to have a really convenient drop-off location for folks, and we're just happy to be a part of this and happy to contribute to sustainability.
3 of us are part of the leadership team, and we're a group that we help the environment, and we know that Thanksgiving's coming, and we really want them to recycle it, because if they don't, it'll probably pollute the air, because the oils aren't good for the trees and plants.
I'm with Dr. Eduardo Santillan Jimenez with UK's Center for Applied Energy Research, and he's going to tell us what we're going to be doing with the cooking oil that we collect at the Gobble Grease Toss. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Over at the University of Kentucky Center for Applied Energy Research, we have a project funded by the National Science Foundation where we convert different oils to fuel, either diesel fuel or jet fuel. And one of those oils can be used cooking oil. So with the Gobble Grease Toss, we can get a sample that we can convert to biofuel through our technology. And since we are a research facility, we expand our capacity by coordinating with Kelly Green Biofuel, a company in the region that can help us convert the entirety of the oil collected to biofuel.
It's a little bit of effort for you to bring your cooking oil to us on Black Friday, but it's really useful for the UK Center for Applied Energy Research and Kelly Green, and for Redwood, who are teaching their students about the environment, and also for the environment because you are keeping something out of the landfill and recycling it into something useful.
Before we can get to the Thanksgiving holiday, we've still got lots of work to do here in the Urban County government, and that means we have several televised meetings this week, including Tuesday's Environmental Quality and Public Works Committee and the Council Work Session. On Wednesday, the Courthouse Area Design Review Board, the Urban County Arts Review Board, and the Board of Architectural Review. On Thursday, we've got the regular council meeting, and finally on Friday, we have the Board of Adjustment. You can watch these meetings live and our other programming right here on Lex TV channel 185 or on our live stream, or you can find any archived meeting at lexingtonky.gov/LexTV. And don't forget, you can always check out our programming on YouTube. Just search for our channel. It's Lex TV. Well, that's all for this week's edition of Lexington Now. Keep up with us all week long on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, and check out the latest traffic updates on Twitter at our handle @LexRex. Or you can get a bird's eye view of what's going on the roads by checking out our live traffic cams. They're on the city's website. You know where to find us, lexingtonky.gov. We leave you this week with a look back at our Veterans Day parade as it returned to downtown. For the staff and producers of Lex TV, I'm Sherelle Roberts, and that's it for now.